Is music and much more.
Beautiful day in North Carolina. Hope you enjoy it with PTF. Let's take a moment and update ourselves with Dr. Joyce Brothers.
This is Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Let's take a moment to find out what the nation is thinking with Charles McCord.
This is the People Poll. I'm Charles McCord, talking today about the new good old days when gasoline was only $1 a gallon.
NBC News. This is Cameron Swayze reporting.
This is WPTF News.
This is News in Brief from American Entertainment Radio. I'm John Degnan.
This is John Chancellor on the NBC Radio Network with comment on the news. Let me admit that
The Jimmy Dean Show is informative.
This is Edwin Newman with an update on emergency medical advice.
You follow his column each morning. Time to listen to Dennis Rogers. Dennis?
You know, there are people who worry about the quality of the young men and women serving in our military forces these days. Not to worry, they are a resourceful lot.
I can tell by the way the telephone is ringing, it must be the SPCA calling. Hello there.
Hi, Jimmy.
How you doing, Peggy?
All right, how you doing?
Okay, it's good to hear from you. What do we have lost and found today?
Okay, let's start out with this lost cat in the North.
The Jimmy Dean Show, every weekday afternoon between 1:15 and 4:30 on
WPTF 68.
Start your day with Maury Odell on Radio 68.
WPTF 68.
I think we ought to listen to a green frog. By room went the little green frog one day.
WPTF's Maury Odell in the mornings.
You remember that song when you were a kid, when you were in the Girl Scouts?
I was never in the Girl Scouts.
It's time for a few minutes with Dennis Rogers.
Are you tired of those boring 2-week flings through the playpens of Europe?
Maury Odell, mornings on Radio 68.
Maury Odell here to talk about the weather. Our forecaster on duty out at Raleigh-Durham Airport is Dick Jones. Morning, Dick.
Morning, Maury.
Any special kind of weather news you want to pass on?
For the next couple of days, we're going to be under pretty good weather.
Get ready for your day with Maury Odell.
Time for WPTF News. This is Wayne Ennis. The future direction of the North Carolina Association of Educators may be determined.
Drive to work with the Maury Odell Show.
Maury here to check on the traffic again. And here with us, Captain John Hoffman.
Particularly in the downtown regions right now, the downtown approaches areas inside the Beltline, not particularly...
Maury Odell and the WPTF morning team keep you informed.
Time for a look at the sports page with Gary Dornberg.
Robbie Perkins won the event for the men for the third straight year.
Time for the WPTF Morning Report.
The Maury Odell Show. Weekday mornings 6 to 10 on WPTF.
Listen to the world on News 68.
You are listening to WPTF News 68, your afternoon report on what's happening. This continuous news and information service is on the air each weekday afternoon from 4:30 until 6:15. I'm Bart Rittner, and now for an update of the day's top news stories, here is Tony Rigsby.
Thank you very much, Bart, and good afternoon, everyone. President Carter unveiled...
News 68 catches you up on the news you missed during a busy workday.
We have an update on the weather forecast for the Triangle area. Clear and cooler tonight.
News 68, 4:30 until 6:15 each weekday afternoon.
Let's check on Raleigh's traffic, and here's Captain John Hoffman.
And we have a train. It looks like just about to go through the downtown area. That's going to be affecting the crossings at West Harrington, Hargan.
News 68 with the WPTF News team.
That's the news. Mike Blackman reporting.
This is Kit Borgman, News 68.
Tony Rigsby, News 68.
We get details on that and other sports news from Sports Director Gary Dornberg.
Thank you, Bart. You know, the great Dallas quarterback did...
WPTF News 68.
This is Gary Dornberg, News 68.
Next, the rest of the story.
Hello, Americans. I'm Paul Harvey. You know what the news is. And now you know the rest of the story.
Earlier this afternoon, Jane Pauley talked about voters who are non-committed or independents. This afternoon from Lloyd Dobbins, we get more on the American political process.
The presidential election is a fraud. The United States is a democracy, but only by the most liberal interpretation of that word. Were this a true democracy, we the people would elect our presidents directly.
Well, Gene Shalit has seen a glowing movie and has a glowing report.
If you bring together the talents of the director Konstantin Costa-Gavras and a cast headed by Yves Montand, you know you have a good chance.
News 68 with host Bart Rittner.
On our selected list of stocks reflecting closing prices on the New York Exchange.
News 68, weekday afternoons between 4:30 and 6:15 on WPTF. Sample WPTF's News 68.
It's 4:30. Good afternoon, everyone. This is WPTF News 68. I'm Bart Ridner. The weatherman says clearing and cooler tonight.
News 68, weekday afternoons between 4:30 and 6:15 on WPTF.
Also on tap, news updates from Kit Borgman and Tony Rigsby. Gary Dornberg with all the top sports news. A look at the bullion and business marketplaces, frequent traffic updates, and today's WPTF editorial from Dan Giddens. First, with a news update, here is Kit Borgman.
Thank you, Bart. President Carter acknowledges that
WPTF's News 68.
Man's inhumanity to man. More on that from Dr. Joyce Brothers.
If we are civilized human beings, why can't we learn to live in peace?
Listen to the world on News 68.
Now to get the series started, here is Steve Porter.
Here's a quickie test. How many people inhabit planet Earth today? How big will the population become by the year 2000?
News 68 catches you up on the news you missed during a busy workday.
Now for an update of the day's top news stories, here is Tony Rigsby.
Thank you very much, Bart, and good afternoon, everyone. Wisconsin is the scene of this...
Drive home with WPTF's News 68.
Let's check on the traffic. Here's Captain John Hoffman.
And good afternoon, Bart. I'll tell you, traffic is heavy, though, coming out of some of the departure routes already, coming out of downtown. First of all, Glenwood Avenue.
News 68, weekday afternoons between 4:30 and 6:15 on WPTF.
This is Full Service Radio 68, WPTF in Raleigh, North Carolina.
There are a lot of features of this full-service radio station.
Features you won't find anywhere else in the Southeast.
Full-service Radio 68 has long been known as the leader in news coverage in our area with one of the largest broadcast news organizations in the state.
But did you know that on a typical weekday, WPTF broadcasts 65 regularly scheduled newscasts, not to mention extra reports and updates when news stories warrant that type of coverage?
Full-service Radio 68 isn't all news, however. Our programming is a carefully conceived blend of entertainment elements as well.
Let's drop a few names, like North Carolina columnist and radio commentator Dennis Rogers, with observations, reflections, and just the right touch of humor on just about any subject.
Speaking about a man about anything, NBC's Gene Shalit might pick up the English language or pick apart a film he's just seen.
Or political satirist Mark Russell may pick on a well-known person in government or take a pickaxe to a Washington institution.
Paul Harvey, in addition to his news and commentary, offers the rest of the story. See if you can guess the historical figure each day before he reveals it.
Full Service Radio 68 has it all together with a look into the human mind with Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Edwin Newman voices his insight into hard news and feature stories.
While you can hear what your neighbors think on certain subjects on the WPTF People Poll, and NBC's Charles McCord analyzes the National People Poll.
In our opinion, we have even more opinion, as Tom Braden and Pat Buchanan take opposing views on confrontation.
Durham Life Broadcasting's Dan Giddens voices the corporation's editorial opinion each weekday.
Access to the WPTF airways is as close as your telephone as you participate in Ask Your Neighbor, Sports Line, Open Line, and The Larry King Show.
We talk a mighty good line, but what about music?
WPTF plays the best. The top hits, both past and present, each song carefully researched to be what the typical WPTF listener will enjoy the most.
It's not easy being Full Service Radio 68, but it's darn well worth it.
WPTF Radio 68 is a full-service radio station.
WPTF 68.
And full service means programming that benefits the public. Benefits, educates, informs, and entertains. And we do all these things for you, the many thousands of loyal WPTF listeners throughout North Carolina and Virginia who tune us in every day. We bring you the news, worldwide, national, regional, and local. The weather, current and future. Adult yet contemporary music. Interviews with newsmakers and with your neighbors. Political satire, humor, traffic reports, lost and found information. We'll even help you find a new job on Job Watch. And just like the man says, we do it for you, our listeners. WPTF Radio 68 is truly a full-service radio station. And we want to serve you, just as we have served you since 1924. So remember, you pick up a friend, no place else but
WPTF.
Got a problem around the house? Well, ask your neighbor about it.
WPTF.
This is Maury Odell, and weekday mornings at 11:05, we invite you to call in and ask about household tips you may be in need of, or to share a recipe you've had good luck with.
WPTF.
And of course, at 11:40, we open the flea market portion. So join me and ask your neighbor. No place else but right here.
WPTF. 68.
Hello there, Maury Odell here.
WPTF.
I'll be here tomorrow morning to get your day off to a great start. In addition to smooth and easy music, we'll have the morning report, all the weather, complete sports and traffic reports.
WPTF.